This is Access to Experts, where we interview business and professional experts and ask the questions you most want the answers to.
Welcome to Access to Experts. This is Lori Morgan Ferrero. Imagine what it would be like if you had an extra 10 to 20 hours per week. Wouldn't that be awesome? I know I would love it. Well, our guest today is going to share with us exactly how you can bank that kind of time by not commuting to work and by not taking public transport, but instead funneling your time into your very own business. So I am very fortunate to have Christine Blackledge with us here all the way from the UK. Welcome, Christine.
Thank you for the invitation. It's my pleasure to be here.
I'm so excited that you are here. Now, you are a licensed business development consultant, right?
Yes.
And you have over 20 years experience in recruitment staffing and in healthcare. And I know you've also worked for some top-level government agencies like Nottingham County Council and West Sussex County Council and Manpower, and way too many for me to even name here. But the most exciting part is that you've taken all this wisdom, all this experience, and you've created your own business called Metamorphosis Business Systems. And I know you're so passionate about that. What drove you to create such a beautiful business?
Well, the reason why I created Metamorphosis Business System is because I had a business. I was running my own business, and it was turning over $1 million a year, and
nice.
Increasing by 25% a year. And things were really going well, but unfortunately my father-in-law became ill. I then decided I needed to look after him, and I put management team in place. They were actually incompetent. They were invoicing 6 months behind. Wow. There was clients that were coming into the office to pay for their services, and they were paying by cash, and these clients weren't actually on my system whatsoever.
Wow.
So the staff members were actually, this was missing money. It wasn't accounted for. And this is because I didn't have a system in place.
Right.
They literally caused the company to lose over £150,000.
Wow.
It was a financial nightmare. It was such a difficult time. I didn't know where I should turn because I had no support. No one was there to give me, the support that I needed, because I was working for myself, by myself. And if I had a system in place, I would have been able to see the warning signs. I would have been able to see that things were going wrong. And I would have been able to monitor the growth of the company and to look at what was going right and what was going wrong.
Sure.
So that's the reason why I've set up the Metamorphosis Business System, to give people the support that they need to help them in their recruitment industry.
Well, I know also a lot of our audience members are very curious about what it would take to start their own staffing agency, but they may have a lot of misconceptions. Can you clear some of those up for us?
Well, one of the misconceptions is that people think that they need to have an office in a high street location, and you can actually run your own recruitment business from home with a spare office or a spare room in your own home.
Thank goodness for the internet, right?
Yes, definitely. The internet is huge. It's bringing in so much, opportunities with regards to starting your own recruitment business. So people are able to actually work from home, and they're not having to travel 10 to 20 hours a week commuting.
So I know that you've helped a lot of people already, Christine. Can you give us an example?
Yes, I can give you an example. Kate, she worked for an agency. She was very miserable in her job. She wasn't happy about commuting. She was spending less time with her family.
Yeah.
And she has a newborn. So for her, it was very, she was, it was making her very unhappy. And she just didn't feel like she could quit her job. But with my help, with my business system, with the Metamorphosis Business System, she's now able to feel confident to leave her job and start up on her own, and she's actually spending more time with her children, 10 to 20 hours extra a week. She's able to take a nap if she wants to with the baby, and she's actually able to go and do errands. She's actually able to spend the time the way she wants to spend it.
Right.
And the internet is so huge, she's able to run her own business with my system, starting her own recruitment agency.
From home.
From home.
That's a heartwarming story. That's awesome.
Thank you.
What other sorts of misconceptions do you run across?
Well, another misconception is that people seem to think that they need a large team behind them in order to start a recruitment agency. Well, that's not true. They can start off by themselves and they can build up, if they want to, you know, time by time with the right systems in place. And providing that they've done that, that will enable them to have a successful recruitment agency.
Oh, that's awesome. So do you have any examples of people you've helped overcome that misconception?
An example would be a gentleman who's actually brought my system. He was actually working 12 to 18-hour day with 2 agencies. He was exhausted, he was shattered, and he just didn't know what to do. He was frightened, he was terrified, He didn't want to leap out on his own. He didn't feel he had the vision to start his own recruitment agency. He wanted to have the support team behind him also. And I actually showed him how to do that with the Metamorphosis business system. He's now able to run his own recruitment agency, and he's able to offer a good fee rate to clients.
Cool.
So for him, he's absolutely over the moon. He's not having the stress anymore of having to meet targets, of having to keep working as hard as he does to cover sickness, etc. And he's got the support team that he wanted with my system.
It sounds like you gave him a dream life. That's a great story too. What a success.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What are some other misconceptions that people may have about starting their own recruitment agency?
Well, another misconception is that people seem to think that they are not able to continue working and build their own business at the same time. Well, if you was to approach your employer and ask them if you could have the 2 days working from home, you can then use that time to build your business up.
Nice. And then how would you approach your employer?
Well, an example would be Kate. She asked her employer if she could have a Friday off, and he agreed to that. So she was then able to start a recruitment agency from home.
Nice.
I helped her to set up through the Metamorphosis business system. She was able to then build it up week to week, so she's now in her 5th month of running the Metamorphosis business system. So her employer is quite happy for her to take off 1 day a week. She's now looking at taking off 3 days a week as opposed to the 1, because the business is developing and growing.
And then why is her employer supporting that?
The employer is supporting it because he's able to get someone else in to take over for her duties. So it was a win-win situation for both parties.
Well, this is such valuable information, Christine. So what I want to ask you now, because I know our audience would like to know, what sorts of questions should they ask when they're evaluating an agency startup like yourself?
Well, one of the questions they should ask is, what experience do they have? What knowledge do they have? What contracts have they had? And also, what is their guarantee?
So, Christine, thank you for being with us today. That was such an amazing interview. And I also understand that you brought a generous gift for our audience today. Will you tell us about that?
Yes, I give away 30 video tips on how to start a recruitment agency.
Excellent. And how will our audience get that?
They will go to my website at www.christineblackledge.com.
Excellent. Well, there you have it. Visit www.christineblackledge.com and grab your own 30 video tips. And I want to thank you again, Christine, for joining us. It's really been enlightening.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure to be here.
Excellent. This is Lori Morgan Ferrero, and this has been the latest segment of Access to Experts.
This has been Access to Experts, where we interview business and professional experts and ask the questions you most want the answers to.